Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Stock Market Technical Analysis for Tuesday, April the 27th, 2021. It is currently 5:52 a.m. Pacific Time in Southern California. It is 8:52 a.m. in New York City and in Toronto, which means we are fast approaching 1 p.m. on the other side of the pond across the Atlantic. Warhead, hell, Mr. T, who says good afternoon all in the live chat. Afternoon to you, sir, as well. As well, we welcome Mr. Don. Good morning, Mr. Joe from the one and only the city of champions, Tampa Bay, Florida, folks. Yeah, in case you didn't know, we are to be able to remind you of that. Okay, wow. Welcome. Another day here in the US stock equity markets where we spend time on here just before the opening each and every weekday to help you identify opportunities to make money in the stock markets. Yes, so through this process, you are going to learn some skills. Yes, you will find trade, but we want you to focus more into uh, understanding the concept that we share each and every day here. These videos are recorded on YouTube, and we strongly suggest they are free that you spend time scrutinizing them so that you can use those techniques to take your trading to the next level. All right, we are in earnings season, folks, so we have been touting a week such as this one is a super week, or what people, the pundits out there, they are calling this week one of those determining week, because a lot is happening. I think the President of the United States of America will be speaking on Wednesday. The Fed chairman will be speaking on Wednesday. So Super Wednesday, yeah, there's always looking for something. I mean, what's the impact on the market? We don't know. All we know is that it will create volatility. We have shared with you here the statistics on how SPY behave the days following the Fed chairman intervention. So let's be prepared for that. In the meantime, we have a slew of earnings galore all over the place, which that's moving the markets as well, right? By themselves. So that today is no different. So yesterday, we think we gave you the lineup overall. Tesla kicked off earning yesterday after hours for the big company, but really we are just going to go crescendo each and every day this week. So in the pre-markets, we are going to be talking about at least one company that's like it's a proxy to another company which is known as the breadwinner of the US economy. I'm talking about FedEx. So the company that's FedEx is proxy for, at least you can use them interchangeably. That's the word. Thank you, TEDx. It's UPS. So UPS had earnings, and that you will see how that impacted FedEx. So for us on here, UPS is gapping, so we can give you a preview. When a stock is gapping in pre-market, we automatically do something. Stay tuned. In the next 20 minutes, we will reveal our little secret. Is that a teaser? No, I'm not good at that stuff. You know that. I'll give it to you straight. I mean, in meaning, I don't use any of the gimmicky. But here's what's going to crescendo. And as I was getting out of the shower, trying to think how for us we can somehow use this as a teaching opportunity. So after hours today, we are going to have AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet, the parent company for Google, Visa, 4 companies definitely earnings, and then Texas Instrument. Actually, that has make it 6, and then Pinterest in there, because folks, Pinterest is a company that's growing. I'm beginning to use Pinterest as a social media, trying to get my so-called marketing effort going. But now that thing has a lot of potential, folks. Yeah, that's a company that down the road we will definitely, we could be looking at it like its predecessor, at least one of its predecessor, because we know not all social media companies have grown to the like of Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, so Facebook, the lineup for after hours earnings on Wednesday include Facebook, none other than Facebook, Apple, Teladoc, who else? ServiceNow, eBay, MGM. That's not bad. But if you thought that was something, then let's wait for the lineup for Wednesday, for Thursday, definitely starting in pre-market with Caterpillar, McDonald, Merckx, Bristol Myers, Altria. Altria, that's the cigarette thing, in case you don't know. Yeah, it tripped me sometime. Yeah, the name of the company. Yeah. But if somebody tell you Altria, you will be, what type of business do they do? What? But then after hours on Thursday, Amazon, Neo, Twitter, I cannot promise. And then Western Digital, Gilead, Vertex, and Pacific Bioscience. So I am, because people traders have been asking, oh, when are we? Can we do the next live trading together? We did one on March the 5th. If you were not with us, we strongly apologize, folks. I mean, these things, they take. No, it takes time. They take energy. Those who saw me that live, it was 6.5 hours, more than 6.5 hours on March the 5th. It was a Friday. We went live with you the entire day. Well, I mean, and I'm not promising anything of that. What I'm thinking that it could be feasible is for us to get together in the last 90 minutes and day trade on Thursday from, let's say, 2:30, yeah, all the way to the closing, because that will lead us to the earnings of Amazon, Neo, Twitter, uh, Western Digital, or after hours. So that's what I'm wishing for. I will confirm that by creating a special live stream for that. So we are looking for Thursday. Thursday will be the 29th of April. So from 2:30 all the way to the closing. Let's see if we can catch some action, because that will be the day after the Fed. That will be the day after Super Wednesday, because my friend, it's going to be crazy wild on Super Wednesday for us to attempt to teach and then show you something. But trust me, the action doesn't start on Super Wednesday, right? It carry on into Thursday. So going into the earnings for Neo, Twitter, Amazon, definitely there will have to be some volatility that we can take advantage of. All right, so let's say hello and good morning to more folks who joined. Miss JLo, glad to have you. Mr. Joe, how are you? Miss Festus, JD Snow Talk. I cannot keep a straight face with that name. All right, folks. Yeah, we have 12 concurrent viewers. That's like, ooh, wow. All right. Excellent. So hopefully some of those viewers, some of you were able to take advantage of our friend SPY yesterday. So this is the chart of SPY, and there was money to be made here, folks, in the closing. Why we said yesterday, in case you don't know, if we have to repeat that each and every single day, if there's one thing that you as a viewer of this show as of now, we have strategies. One of the strategy that we employ here, it's on our beloved SPY, the SPY who loved us, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday expiration. So we strictly, for us, we have identified that there is a tremendous opportunity to make plenty of money if you're really serious about it. So SPY yesterday was mostly bullish across the day, but a violent move came in literally. It didn't last that long, right? If I go to the 5-minute chart of SPY, it was literally a 10-minute interval from 3:25 to 3:30 Eastern time. So you needed to be quick. Yeah. So first here we were trading the 418 puts, and those were going for 31 cents somewhere here. Am I sharing the proper screen? Yeah, I'm sharing the chart of SPY yesterday, 5-minute interval. That's what you see here on TradingView. So those 31 cents, they turned into almost $1 in 10 minutes when the stock went from 418 and 10 cents to it hit 417. And then, as usual, well, not as usual, we have seen this too many times. I mean, the end of the day on expiration day on SPY is wow. So we are just trying to take advantage of that. And then 417 all the way to almost 418, and then before it retreated. But this here, this 10 minutes on here were good enough to get easily 200%. So that's a trade. Is not a surprise to us. That's a trade that's we teach you on how to set it up, and my job, your job, is just to consistently do it. That's all right. So that's if you miss out, no problem. Guess what? There's another expiration day tomorrow on SPY. In the meantime, the daily chart of SPY looks just a picture of, actually, for whatever reason, this year there's no telling that we're not bearish here. It's not bearish, right? The stock is trading above the natural support, the exponential moving average, and as we can see, if you can see here a little bit, there is room being made for on the upper Bollinger Bands, meaning that from here, it just take one day. You can have one big candle to go from the current price to the upper Bollinger of 423. That will be over $8. What? Not $8. let's say $5 move, $5 to $6 move on there. My friend, if that is to happen in one day, those options are going to pay. So be on the lookout. We don't know. Will it be today? Will it be tomorrow? So yeah, SPY is setting itself up definitely to just shoot and to the upper Bollinger Band. That's potential. Just I mean, it's just as possible that hey, maybe it will come and test the yellow line exponential moving average 8 again. Why? Because look at the previous days. We have touched that yellow line. Yesterday was the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4 days that we didn't touch the yellow line. So today's, what's the name of today usually? Put scalping Tuesday. So yeah, I mean, if the action is bearish at some points, so that 414, 415, 414, 416, easier for me to say on SPY, definitely the yellow line will be a price to be tested on. The longer we stay above that yellow line, the more likely we will be going to the upper Bollinger Band. Time will tell. The week is still young, folks. The week is still young. All right. So very quickly here, next is QQQ. QQQ. Actually, yesterday was it a bigger move? And no, IWM, the next one, it was had the most dynamic. But QQQ, it's getting ready. I mean, just matter of time. So the other thing on QQ is that the next 3 days, because somebody asked me this question recently to say, hey, is there a strategy to say that when this big tech company they go into earning, you can use QQQ as a proxy? I say, yeah, it makes sense. There have been days here. I remember, was it 2 earnings ago, or was over the last year earnings for sure. On the same day, Apple, Microsoft, Google, or Amazon, 3 or 4 of them, they had earning on the same day, folks. And we made a video of that. There's a tiny video of that. So after hours, when all of those 4 companies, the big tech, they declare the earnings at the same time, guess what? QQQ and SPY, they shoot off. They shoot off. So meaning I've seen instantaneous correlation of that. I haven't tracked that over a period of time to be able to tell you, but that only makes sense, right? I mean, if Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon, those 5, they have positive earnings because they're the lion's share. Just those 5, you go look at the contribution on the QQQ and SPY is the same. I mean, now Tesla, you can add Tesla to that a little bit, but that wasn't the case, let's say, prior to Tesla joining the S&P 500. So, yes, so where were we going? So we have Microsoft and Alphabet after hours today, meaning that we can actually use this, yeah, to trade QQQ because the implied volatility on the individual stock themselves will be much higher. QQQ is more than just days, but there's the weight, the proportion of those companies, Alphabet, Microsoft into SPY and QQQ, we could make it that if they have good earnings, that will definitely take QQQ much higher. So we can set up that trade. You and I, we can definitely set up that trade. Because we have that succession, right? So after hours today, and then since QQQ only has expiration on Friday, tomorrow we have Facebook, we have Apple after hours, and then the next day we have Amazon. So this time around, they didn't put all of them on the same day. They tried to to put them a little bit apart, but we can take advantage of that on QQQ and SPY for that matter. SPY is a little bit more different, meaning the weighting of these 5 companies that I just mentioned is much higher on QQQ than SPY because QQQ only represents actually one portion of one sector within the S&P 500. All right, so hopefully you are able to take that information there and convert that into a winning trade. All right, here's IWM, the other one. We talked about this yesterday, folks, right? Giving any direction on so far. So what is it? What did it do yesterday? Gapped up and try as much as possible. Was really strong. It didn't show that much weakness yesterday. How do we know that? If we go to the 15-minute chart of here it is yesterday. I mean, it just after a while, after let's say from 11:30, yeah, trading clock. If you don't know what that is, I mean, we can definitely teach you what the trading clock is. For those who know what the trading clock is, here's 11:30 a.m. From there, for that point on, there was just sideways action, but that still is a sign of strength. So now the question for IWM will be finding room on the upper Bollinger Band. On the daily chart, the upper Bollinger Band for IWM stand at 227, 228.27 rather, and in pre-market here, TradingView is showing that it's starting at 228.62. So time will tell. Stock, even, I mean, ETF, this is the best time during earnings season where an ETF can ride the upper Bollinger. We have seen it here. I mean, this was an earnings season in March, but we have seen a stock can do that for a given period of time. Let's say February here, time frame. Here's IWM doing that here for 4 consecutive days, posting higher highs. Typically, when that happens, I mean, those options they will pay even more. So let's continue to keep an eye on IWM. We made some decent money yesterday on those calls. We were using the 230 calls, so we took our money, folks. Yeah, we took our money. So we just come back, reset, and see what happens today. All right. So this is the time of the show. Let's just pick here in the live chat. This is the time of the show where we go into fading V's to identify options, stock that are moving. Yeah, because when I say option, yeah, I mean, yeah, our purpose is to trade options. So this morning, what's moving? Sava. Remember Sava? Cassava? Sava is actually Sava. Sava bien? No, I don't know. So here, Sava bien for Sava. This is a stock that's spike early February to 100. You may have remember here we were talking about in here. So since then, like many stock, it just drifted back all the way to I mean, it established some support around 40, and now it's trying to recover. A lot of stock yesterday were actually having that pattern of recovery. I'm not sure if we will be able to get to all of them here, but I'm just going to bring a few as we see them on here. So UPS is gapping 9%. Oh my goodness, we already have for our traders in the Discord room are already set up that Ganster trade. I mean, I usually set up very early. The thing with that is that, hey, if the stock continue to move, I mean, we have two strike price. So at the time I did it, the stock was trading at 190. Now it's trading 191.31. So those strike price, I mean, they should still be valid. If anything, in this case, since the stock is gapping up, right? Remember the principle of the Ganster trade, the puts the one that are cheapest. So meaning, I mean, for me at this stage, all that's gonna tell me is that I can afford to put in a limit order on the lower end for the put side. I mean, for the call side, yeah, it's going to be a little bit higher, but that's way. I mean, you can just move. You can always move the strike. Okay, so that's UPS on there. So we talked about the principle of proxy. So the proxy is to identify when a stock has earning to identify another stock within the sector, right? So for UPS, the natural one is FedEx. So the chart of FedEx, we didn't do it, but we could have set up a trade on here for FedEx as a proxy to the earnings for UPS. And typically what will happen that within the same industry, if let's say the competitor who's having earnings shines, that gives investor the idea that, hey, the competition, the other one you've been used as proxy could be doing well as well. So here this morning, that's the perfect case for FedEx, up almost 3%, and getting upgrades and the like, because analysts are taking a keen eye on which that's UPS revealed to them. So for me, I'm just when I saw this morning, I was just like because I should be in this trade. There is reason why I should be in this trade. It's just my bad. There is a pattern on here that I discovered on FedEx, and I put an alert yesterday. I was just too busy yesterday. I got distracted a lot. The alert for that when FedEx was trading below. Actually, can I show you that? Let me. Could I go to my old alert? Hopefully, here we. Let's see. Will we have it here? It wasn't here. It wasn't on TradingView. I set it up on my on my it was on my broker E-Trade. So because when it came out, I was almost surprised. So the email came, oh, FedEx is crossing below 276. So the whole idea was that it has been bouncing off of that level. And today, this morning, not sure it's going to hold, but keep an eye on FedEx, because from here it could just shoot back up, and you could trade the weekly 295. They were super cheap. This is really a nice trade if somebody got it overnight. I mean, the criteria on entering it could have been either you had an alert like me on it because you studied the chart, or you used it as a proxy to UPS earning. But nevertheless, it's not all lost, right? So this direction on here from 283. It has room to go to between 290 and 295, and those options, I think they are still very, very affordable. I think the 290 for yesterday, they were going for like 11 cents. That's my type of trade. But hey, let's see. Let's see how that goes. So we'll be keeping an eye. Or definitely, we are going to start trading UPS, and we will keep an eye on what FedEx does as well. All right. So other stocks on here that we want to bring your attention to. Actually, we didn't finish on FinViz because we need to look at the other side. How crazy, if it's crazy or how silly of me to be able to pretend just look at one side. Just Telex is just looking at the bullish side of what's this talking about. We don't do that. We don't care which direction. So if anything, stock go down faster than they go up. So we prefer to make our money on the upside. So some stocks are starting bearishly this morning. I mean, Snap. That there's some news about a private offering that came. That stock is in the middle of nowhere. Snap need to make a decision on here. See, either start trading above 50 or it's gonna come below 55 this week. So that's we are looking for some action on that. Tesla had earnings yesterday, so second day momentum on here is still bearish. Though it didn't move that much yesterday. Here's the chart, right? I mean, let me make sure that you guys can see the chart of Tesla since it's lower here. So there wasn't that much move, and actually in this pre-market is moving more than it moved yesterday. So let's see what that is. If you want to trade Tesla on there, I mean, we don't have on Tesla. I can quickly flash it. The quantitative analysis doesn't show, but I mean that then again, a stock like Tesla has moved a lot. The quantitative analysis on Tesla shows moves day one, day two, but not to a great extent. I mean, if Tesla moved even less than 3%, 2% of the like is not really conductive to trading it unless you are risking a lot of money, right? Well, my point is that okay, a big move on Tesla needs to be 4, 5 at least in percentage in order for us to trade out of the money option without risking, I don't know, $300 per contract. That's what I mean. So, but hey, last earnings it moved minus 6% from the open. So yeah, that will not be bad. So I'm not saying that we should disregard Tesla. No. The stock is moving absolutely. Keep an eye on it, and it's starting bearishly. There could actually be good money to be made on Tesla. I'm going to spy on it, but typically, my risk is always limited, and my trade are timed on Tesla. I don't play. I don't play like that. So that's that there. All right, let me bring at least a couple of stocks that I saw that are moving in pre-market, and they, in terms of the reason I'm bringing them up because the trend is changing a little bit. The first one is actually two of them. They're in the same industry. They're in the same sector. Here's DraftKings. This has been an underperforming stock over the last few for the most part of April. Yeah, because early April the stock is trading at $64. Before that, mid-February or the mid-March rather, the stock was menacing with a breakout above 72. Since then, came all the way down, and now yesterday it recaptured the exponential moving average 8. That's our momentum line, so to speak. Let's see, I need to show you guys the data window. Yep, here's our data window, so we can see the lines. So yeah, so here's DraftKings, and this I mean, you could say that this ride starts let's say on the 21st last week, right? But it had a hard time confirming that move above. So for us on here, we are looking for this guy because this is a stock that, I mean, a company signed a big contract with whatever, ESPN or whatever, and then it comes and sells off. So that just doesn't make sense. Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. So for us, the very confirmation of the bullish stand will be that, okay, are we trading above the highest level of resistance, which is the EMA 20 is 59.86. So currently the stock is starting at $60.64. So let's keep an eye on this because this is a fast mover. How do we know that? Look at the size of the candles on here. On certain days on here, let's say on a bullish day here, on March the 10th, the stock moved from 64 to $76 on a stock like this, folks. You are not that far from a potential 10 bagger. Yeah. So let's keep an eye on this guy. I'm not suggesting that's going to necessarily do that today, but it's should it bring confirmation to the move, we need to confidently take advantage of that. The other one, so it's up 2.42%. The other one in the same industry is this one, Pen. This is a stock that is funny story on this one. So here, about March the 15th, at the highest, I think that's a 52-week high. This stock was scheduled to join the S&P 500, and it proceeded to selling off from that 135, 142 even, folks, all the way to 80, $85 or other day. We traded this along the way. You know how for us. I mean, a crossover below of the EMA at the 15. If EMA 8 below the EMA 20, I mean, that's it doesn't scream bearish more than that. But now look at what's been happening here. Recently, consolidation, 5 consecutive days of pretty much closing at the same level, 90 thereabouts. So are we ready to be bouncing? It's gapping about 3% this morning. EMA 8 natural resistance is at 93, 0.3. So a confirmation of that, meaning higher values above that level, this yellow line will tell us that it's time to go. I mean, look at it has plenty of room, folks, plenty of rooms to recover. So below 100 is still very cheap for this stock. It was trading 50% higher, literally not even less than a month ago. Well, a month and a few days ago. So let's keep an eye on Pen. Pen is the type of stock that when it moves like this, it could put in a 10% move. So as of now, pre-market 3.73%. So yeah, you can use this with, let's say, where's 100 calls, definitely. Yeah, weekly calls, or you take something further down the road and you increase your strike price. So let's keep an eye on here. As analysts, maybe they have changed their mind. For me, this is always mind-boggling when you see a stock like this. The fundamental of this company didn't change. If anything, more recently, we have been hearing about a lot of states and legalizing online gambling. They specialize in online gambling, just like DraftKings at the same time. So let's keep an eye on these two stocks on here, because they are definitely they are the most potent mover other than Tesla, at least on the bullish side, here on my screen here on my list of stocks. All right, folks. I hope you got something out of this. So again, list of stock that's for us we are keeping an eye on. In terms of the ETF, yes, QQQ, obviously, with the upcoming earnings from some of the companies that we talked about. IWM is trying to recover attack the upper Bollinger Band. As for individual stock, Tesla, we show Tesla that's it's a second day momentum after earnings, and we showed you UPS and FedEx, those two trading as proxy for each. Well, actually, FedEx trading as a proxy for UPS, which has earning and which is up 9%. We have that as our gangster trade, and keeping an eye on Pen. I mean, for me, DraftKings or Pen definitely are worth gangster trade material. It's just I didn't really do the quick study, but I mean, I made suggestions for you what type of strike you could be using. All right, so thank you for your time, and we wish you a great trading session, and we'll invite you again tomorrow, next day. We're trying to set up a 90-minute live day trading session late to close the session on Thursday the 29th. We will send you the live invite for that when it is fully confirmed. Thank you. Have a great trading session. Bye bye, everybody.